Yo there guys, this is Cob and the weather is as miserable as that of Dustwall Marsh outside my window today. But at least I'm here indoors, eggs and bacon fresh out of the pan, and I have a plethora of questions from you guys to answer this Sunday. The first question is from Ian Anderson and he asks, how did you meet your circle of friends in WoW like Mac and Pingu? Even one story would be cool. It's a little bit odd actually, as me, Soph and Tarfine when he was playing met all of the guys on pretty much the same day. Back in Cataclysm I played on Spinebreaker and it's one of the most underpopulated realms I've ever seen. So the people who were on it decided to get together and pull together an RBG group. I was asked, said yes, and within 5 minutes I was in a call with Mac and a few other friends who aren't in my videos so much, like Missy and Yoshi. Then we met Pingu. Our balance druid had to go that day, so we were looking for a replacement. Our RBG leader suggested a druid called Amazing Pingu, but it turned out that this Amazing Pingu had scammed our group's Death Knight out of gold, so no one actually wanted to invite this shady Pingu character. We didn't have a choice though, as we needed a replacement, so we invited him, and on that first day he was too shy and didn't speak in TeamSpeak at all. Anyways, Mac had always been a good laugh. Pingu ended up being a fun guy to play with, and that's pretty much how I met everyone, through that same RBG team. We all stuck together, introduced a few more mutual friends to one another, and then we all ended up moving to Kazakh together. Next up, Antoni PvP asks, how can you have all of this motivation and energy to make all of this fantastic, thank you, content every day? Many have lost their interest in WoW these days, or are slacking on videos. Honestly, I don't feel like I have to motivate myself at all, you know. I know that this is what I want to do. I love playing WoW, even if it can be frustrating at times. I love editing with awesome music, and the best part about all of this is the feedback from you guys in the comments of the videos. I think that that's really like the lifeblood of why I YouTube and why I put videos out. The next comes from Peace People Jr. and he asks a couple of questions. Why do you have your pet on passive and not on aggressive, and why do you always cast a Fell Flame directly after an immolate, or is that just a personal preference? Alright, I've got my pet on passive because I prefer to keep it by my side. I like to know that if I need a spell lock or a pet seduce, it's there and hasn't been caught in a fear and is currently residing in New Zealand or something. Most of the time though, if I'm going for a kill on someone, I will get to that point and send my pet in for the extra damage boost. Do I always shoot a Fell Flame after applying Immolate? Yes, and that's to increase the Immolate dot right away, but something I'm gonna have to beat out of myself, as in 5.4, Fell Flame won't be increasing or refreshing Immolates in any way. Ninetales 1995's question is simple. Best professions for a lock happy face. Tailoring and engineering. I'm not a big fan of professions at all. I hate leveling them. I think it's so boring. And I don't level them often, but I will make the effort to level these two any day. Engineering, it gives you all kinds of awesome gadgets like the Goblin Glider and Rocket Boots, as well as an enchant which allows your gloves to be used as if they were an on-use PvP trinket, giving you 1k intellect for a short time. Tailoring is awesome for the nets, which you can use to root people in BGs and World PvP, as well as a cloak enchant that procs quite often for a chunky amount of intellect. Barney Gumble asks me if I can define for him a fortnight. Just for you man, I can. A fortnight is an old English term. The fort is pretty much short for 14. So fortnight means 14 nights or 2 weeks, and yeah, there you go, you're learning Old English only here on Sundays with Cob. The Montage Kid asks, I was wondering if you play any of the classes at all, and if so, which ones and why? Also, are there any classes you have tried and didn't like at all, or any you haven't even tried out? Well, apart from always playing Warlock, I like to have a healer at max level 2 pretty much every expansion. In Wrath of the Lich King and Kata, that was a Resto Druid, but now it is a Holy Paladin, and I actually enjoy it a hell of a lot. Probably because they synergize well with Hunters and DKs, so I just get boosted, but hey. Classes I've tried and hated are Death Knight, which I've never had at max level, Hunter, which I've also never had at max level, and Priest, which I actually dinged all the way to 85 in Cataclysm, then deleted a week later because I couldn't bear to play it. Zen-Ars Videos has this to say about an old game called Forge. He mentions Forge, that they made a trailer for it. It got quite popular at the time of release, but it was an undercooked product. They had to release it early, and there was a lot of things that still needed changing and fixing in the game. And I know how you feel, Mr. Zen-Ars Videos. I did play the game. I still play it occasionally, actually, and it really is an amazing game. I really wish I had time to play the game more often, because I do agree it's got huge potential if it just were to have a bigger player base, but I'm not sure I can help out with that. Like, I don't want to tell all of you guys watching this video to go and buy the game and try it out, because you might not like it, or you might buy it and the population issues never ever get fixed. But I agree that it's a great game, and I really do hope it picks up speed again. All I can say is to check it out. Some videos are on it on YouTube, you can go and watch those, and consider getting the game yourself. Just be willing to stick with it. The last thing it needs are more players who played for a few days and then abandoned the game. Vita or Vita Prates asks, what do you think about Destruction Warlock in MOP in relation to the expansion of Cataclysm and Lich King? I personally don't think we'll ever see better days than those of Wrath of the Lich King, to be honest. The gameplay was challenging, but if you got it right, you would tear everyone apart. Cataclysm was fun in that it was challenging, but no matter how well you played, you would struggle to tear apart a critter. And in MOP, I feel like we've lost a little bit of the challenging feel, but we're back to blowing things up again. MOP Destruction is really fun, of course, and it's still a tough spec to master, despite what a lot of people who don't know how to interrupt or line of sight might think. But I think my favourite era of destruction has to be Wrath of the Lich King. PieTime123123 asks, hey Cobrak, have you ever thought about streaming? I have, and right now though I'm working around the clock. I'm actually leaving my job at Skillcapped pretty soon to go full time on YouTube, but until I can do that I am working for them and YouTube, so right now streaming is just impossible. But once I'm no longer employed by a skill cap, then yes, I should finally have the time I need to have a few nights of streaming per week. Patrick Jacob says, Cobb, I have stopped playing WoW because of the way it goes now in PvP. What is your opinion about how the game is rolling now? To me, the game has a few glaring problems in PvP at the moment. There is too much instant cast CC, which should be toned down. But if us casters are going to have to cast more, there also needs to be less ways a melee character can avoid being hit by a spell. For example, if I want to land a Chaos Bolt on a warrior, he can use Pummel, Disrupting Shout, Spell Reflection, Charge Stun, Shockwave, Mass Spell Reflection, or even just Heroic Leap out of my line of sight. I remember a time in TBC when warriors had Charge, Intercept, Spell Reflect, and had to swap to Berserker stance just to use Pummel, and that was it. It is a double-edged sword though. The amount of incidents needs to be trimmed down for a lot of classes before melee interrupts are also reduced. But that's just my opinion. Anyways, if you're still watching this far into the video, you are awesome. Let me know if you like this Q&A by liking this video. If you have a question you would like answered, please do leave it in the comments below for a chance of having it answered a fortnight or 14 nights from now, and I will catch you all later.